As-saa.
Yes, what are the signs? Yes, Ma'alamat As-saa. What are the signs of the hour?
The Holy Quran has mentioned these signs in many surahs, in so many ways. In the last chapter of the Holy Quran, there's so many signs mentioned. But as Alamat As-saa, there are two mentions in the Holy Quran, clearly related to each other. There we interpret the verses, meaning that these are the signs of the As-saa. But with the word mentioned As-saa, the Holy Quran speaks of two signs only, clearly. One is اقتربت الساعة وانشق القمر. The Saa has come close and the moon is split. There, the word Saa is directly applied as sign of Allah for the nearness of Inshiqaq al-Qamar is mentioned as a sign of Allah for the nearness of As-saa. And what do you understand from that? Did that Saa take place or not? The Holy Quran says it is very close. 1400 years have passed. Why didn't it take place? We know it has taken place. As-saa means the great revolution. The revolution for which Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah was brought. And as a sign of that revolution that is about to happen, the moon got split as Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah raised his finger. The second time the word Saa is mentioned as Elamat is with reference to Jesus Christ, his future visit to earth. وَإِنَّهُ لَعِلْمٌ لِلسَّاعَةِ وَإِنَّهُ لَعِلْمٌ لِلسَّاعَةِ. Jesus Christ will be a sign of heaven, of Saa to take place. So these are the two verses which directly relate Saa to a sign which was to appear. And the coming of Jesus would also be a sign of a great revolution. So it does not mean the doomsday. That is one thing which I want to remove. This misunderstanding which I want to remove, which in fact befogs the imagination of the vision of people all over the Muslim world. They always think that Saa means doomsday, while the two words As-saa mentioned in the two verses do not mean doomsday. They mean the same thing. That is a great revolution in favor of Islam. And now we know the meaning very clearly, because in the first place Islam came and began to dominate the world around. That was the time of Hadhrat Mirza. In the second place it was promised that Jesus would appear, his second advent would come. And then Islam would start spreading again and conquering the rest of the world. So this is the word Saa, and these are the two signs.
The word وَانْشَقَّ الْقَمَرِ, is it related to this also? As a sign for the Saa?
In Inshiqaq al-Qamar, obviously, the Holy Quran says اِقْتَرَبَتِ السَّاعَةُ وَانْشَقَّ الْقَمَرِ. So Inshiqaq al-Qamar is the sign of Saa. Inshiqaq al-Qamar is understood in two ways. Number one, the splitting of the moon as not only the Arabs saw, but the whole world saw. Even in India, there is evidence that this was seen as such. So that meant whatever Saa was understood to mean, that was about to happen. This is the point which I am emphasizing. If Saa means literally wiping out of life from earth and packing up everything and destroying the whole universe, if that is the meaning of Saa, then why didn't it take place? The Holy Quran could not be wrong. اقتربت الساعة. اقترب is very close at hand. And the moon will know about split. That is the one meaning. The second meaning is that moon indicates the old order of Arabia. You see, the The old order of Arabia was finished. And there is no more of such thing. This was a sign that a new revolution is going to take place, and it did take place. One thing I want to point out again, the only two prophets who are mentioned or whose times are mentioned with relation to As-saa are first of all Hadhrat Muhammad Rasulullah and second Jesus. Why? There's so many prophets. Saa is not related to any one of other prophets, not one. So obviously the meaning should become very clear to the Muslims. The first advent of Islam and conquering half the world, and the second advent of Islam and conquering the remaining half. So that لِيُظْهِرَهُ عَلَى الدِّينِ كُلِّهِ becomes all fulfilled and turned into a reality. Again, the word Qiyamah has the two meanings. It may apply to the literal wrapping up of the earth and everything and the heaven around it. That's called Qiyamah, which is referred to in English as doomsday. It may mean that, but it also means a great religious revolution and the signs of that revolution. So I have got the word Qiyamah used in the Holy Quran exactly in the second metaphorical sense. In Surah Al-Qiyamah, it uses the word Qiyamah in two ways. Number one, doomsday. Number two, signs of a revolution, spiritual revolution. So, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. La uqsimu bi yawmil qiyamah, wa la uqsimu bin nafsil lawwama, ayasabul insanu allan najma idama, bala qadirina ala an nusawwiya banana. Obviously here, the word Qiyamah means life after death.
Doomsday.
Doomsday. Wrapping up of things, wiping out of everything first, and then revival of all who died into a new life. And then, this is the subject which is clearly mentioned. Having done this, the Holy Quran speaks of a question addressed to Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah. He says, this is Qiyamah, perhaps that is what they mean. But they ask, when will Qiyamah take place? When they ask this, tell them. The real Qiyamah with which they should be concerned is a spiritual revolution, not this Qiyamah. Because when the other Qiyamah would take place, everything will be wiped out, then what is the purpose of knowing the time? You can't return to earth, you can't reform yourself, you can't reshape your life. It will be too late. So the Holy Quran speaks of another Qiyamah again here in the same word. That when they ask you about Qiyamah, this is the answer, the first answer. But that is not all. Tell them that they should prepare for the Qiyamah which will happen here, where they will be tried. Now this is exactly what Ahmad said in answer to a question about Qiyamah. Somebody said, Ya Rasulullah, when will Qiyamah take place? He said, have you prepared? It's not important for you to know when it will take place. The preparation is important. So now first to translate this, then I turn to the second part. لا أقسم بيوم القيامة ولا أقسم بالنفس اللوامة أيحسب الإنسان أن لن نجمع عظامه بلى قادرين على أن نسوي بنانه. Now the Holy Quran gives it a new turn. It says, بل يريد الإنسان ليفجر أمامه. Man talks of Qiyamah and continues to lead a life of sin. Before him, he doesn't care. And such a man, as has been mentioned here, inquires from you, when will Qiyamah take place? So Although the answer has been given in the first place, now the Holy Quran gives the answer in a different sense, in a metaphorical sense. It says, all right, we'll tell you the signs when it will take place. But remember, you must benefit from those signs. They are the signs of Qiyamah to take place here on earth. And those signs are فَإِذَا بَرِقَ الْبَصَرُ وَخَسَفَ الْقَمَرُ وَجُمِعَ الشَّمْسُ وَالْقَمَرُ. This will not happen during the Nihayatul Alam, because it says وَجُمِعَ الشَّمْسُ وَالْقَمَرُ يَقُولُ الْإِنسَانُ يَوْمَئِذٍ أَيْنَ الْمَفَرُ. So it will happen before that Qiyamah. And this is what I'm drawing your attention to. That there is a Qiyamah to take place when the world will come to an end. And there is a Qiyamah to take place before that. For that Qiyamah, which is religious evolution in the favor of Islam, signs will appear. And man will be living to see those signs. And he will say, we can't run away from it yet. He will refuse. So these are the meanings of word As-saa and Qiyamah, and these are the signs.